Hey everybody, Scoutcrafter here again. We want to start our knot series with the most underrated and most useful, in my opinion, knot ever invented. And that is the simplest knot that you could possibly tie, and that's the overhand knot. The overhand knot we tie right before we tie our shoelaces. It is the easiest knot by far to tie, just passing the free end through a loop. And what's so interesting about this knot is the different variations, and I'm going to show you why this knot is one of the best knots you could possibly know. Now, some of the basic uses of this knot is as a constrictor knot, and that is considered a permanent knot, the overhand knot. Now, if you have a fraying end of a rope and you don't want it to fray anymore, you can tie a quick knot in the end here, and that'll stop it from traveling up the rope. Another use for the overhand knot is a stopper knot, and basically what you do is if you had a hole or something you could drill, you would pass the line or rope through a hole, tie the overhand knot, again make a loop, pass it through, and there's your knot, your overhand knot, and then that's your stopper knot. Now that's again a constricting knot, a permanent knot. But what's really interesting with this knot is if you double the line, you make a double overhand. Now, to make the double overhand knot, and this is where the versatility of the overhand knot really comes through, all you do is you fold over the end of a piece of rope, and you just make a simple overhand knot by making a loop and passing the end through, just like that. There's your double overhand knot. Now, this knot is fantastic for holding power. The problem is that it can cinch down and be a little difficult to get out. But many times we use knots with throwaway items, like getting rid of the recycle or whatever. Using this knot is a perfect way to start that, and I'm going to show you why it's so good and how many applications you can use this simple double overhand knot. Just make the loop, pass the end through, and there you go. And I'll show you what you can use that simple loop for. Here's another reason why this is, in my opinion, the most underrated knot. I have to tie up some kindling for a trip, so I'm going to make the overhand, but I'm going to use it in the double overhand, so I'm going to double this end up. I'm going to make an overhand knot in the end, just passing the loop through here. That gives me my double overhand knot. I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to lay the kindling on top of the string, just like that. Now, usually it's uneven, pretty difficult to tie up. I'm going to pass the free end through the loop like this, and then I'm going to pull back and cinch up my load. Now, what's important to remember here is this gives you a mechanical advantage. What's nice about this is you can really tighten this up good and tight. Now, to secure it, you just put your finger over the loop, and then you take the free end and pass it through any section that you can get the rope, the end of the rope through on this side. Here we're going to use a little area we have here, and then we're just going to pull this up against the loop. Now you've secured your kindling, and you can do another wrap or whatever. You could cut this end off, but uneven. This is the way you should be doing your newspapers for recycle. It's a permanent. It won't slip out of there. Pretty solid and really good knot. Another great use for that double overhand is at the end of my ropes, I like to make a little bit longer double overhand. That's a little longer loop of rope. Again, just like you were making a regular overhand, we make the double overhand here. And now what we have is we have a longer loop at the end of the line. If you had to attach it to a ring or something, you pass it through the middle of the ring, open it up, pass it around the ring, and that creates like almost like a lark's head onto that device, and you don't have to worry about it coming undone. Except if you want to take it off, then it's quite easy to undo. The knot itself is a constrictor knot. It won't be easy to get out, but the loop will. Same thing if you had to attach it to a pulley or a hook. You wrap it around the edge, pull it around like this, and it gives you that. So remember, the overhand knot or double overhand knot, the most underrated knot in all the knots. Great thing to keep in the back of your mind. Very simple to remember, easy to use, and one of my favorite knots. Okay, hope that helps. Take care. Have a nice day.